Hello, everyone. Welcome to another WinnersCircle Sports Betting Podcast. Sean Higgs coming at you. It's a Thursday. Doug Upstone and Chip Chirimbes, as always, joining me here. We will be talking some college football week 0. We got a few games on the docket. We'll talk about. We'll probably touch on them all for you. We'll see where the river takes us, where the video and our mouths take us, and our comments go. You know, you're going to get the Iowa State, K-State. Big game over in Ireland, but we'll touch on the other ones for sure there. But before we get to that, you're here. Hit the like button. Thumbs up. Let's go. Leave a comment as well for the games we're talking about. Who you like? You got 2.5 days to put a comment in. I don't want to see them Sunday morning like, yeah, I love this game. No, we're doing this on Thursday. You could put it in a little beforehand here. So put that like, notification bell, subscribe, very important. Then the notification bell so you know each and every day the free picks roll out. It's football season now. We'll be rolling out a lot of college football and NFL. Football Friday, we'll be back live. This man, Chip Chirimbes, will be doing free picks more with Paul Bovey and Jim Feist and the crew. Scott Pritchard, Mark Lawrence. You know the Football Friday guys. We'll all be here doing some NFL and college. You don't want to miss out on that. Notification bells on, people. And, of course, our best bets, our top plays. Games of the month, SEC GOIs for your SEC fans here. Pac-12, Pac-2 people, we'll have you covered for a big game in the Pac-2 at Gamblers.net. That's where all of our top plays are. Go get them. We're going to have a leaderboard up for you. We always do for regular season. You see it up there now for games in play, sports in play. They'll be back for NFL. Get on board. Early bird football package up. I've been beating your heads for 21 days now. It's less than $25 a day. What are you doing? If you haven't gotten on board, well, do it already, will you? The season's started, and you're on the sidelines. Don't be caught on the sidelines with your britches down, as they say, across the pond. Because that's where we're going to go with britches. Like, are they britches in Ireland? I don't know. But let's start off here, gentlemen. We got Ireland Farmageddon. It's perfect. It's Farmageddon in a land of potatoes. It's potato-geddon. K-State, Iowa State, Big 12 action from a big island, I guess. Here we go. This game, the line has not moved. The lines have been up for quite a while. We've seen movement on some other games. We'll talk about those after this one here. This one has held steady at basically 3 and 50.5, 51. Not real movement from the market with a couple months on it, which is kind of interesting here. I like the coaches. You got your quarterbacks back, right? You got Avery Johnson, Rocco Beck. So it sounds like you're breaking in new guys. I'm going to start with Doug here today on this game. I have not played this game, which is weird because I have a bunch of other games played in week 0, week 1. This is not one I've moved on. Do you have a strong lean opinion on one of the sides?
Well, I do have a play on it, but I can certainly talk about the side of this game. Okay, so I guess I gave away the mystery there. But by the way, speaking of the total, that actually did go up. It was 49.5 on Monday, and now it's up to 50.5. So that one did go up, at least on the sites that I checked. So, anyways, number 22, number 17. The Big 12 is going to be a lot like last year. Okay, it's going to be really tight. I think it's going to come down to a tiebreaker who makes the championship, and that is you can exemplify by if you go to pick the sports book of your choice. Is that most of them have Kansas State number 2, okay, in terms of who could make it. So they're supposed to make the championship game. But Iowa State's 7th, okay, at most places. But yet Kansas State is plus 275. Iowa State is plus 450. So that tells you how tight it is, okay, what they expect this conference. Matt Campbell, excellent coach. The thing about Campbell, though, that's always interesting. Like last year was an example, and I'm not sure where this year falls into it, but his best years are always when expectations are lower. Like last year, Iowa State was like 5th, in the pick to the conference. Nothing out of the ordinary, there. And, so I like them. And I also like the coaching with Kansas State. I thought last year's Kansas State team was kind of odd, though, because usually they don't beat themselves, and they did last year. That was an odd team, 9-4, lot of mistakes on both sides of the ball, just very uncharacteristic. So I think the line on this game is right. Kansas State seems to be a slightly better team, but I will say this: most of the sharp action I've seen is on Iowa State. Okay, seems to be the feeling I get is that, you know what, it's an even game. Excuse me, even game. Take the points. So that's the general outlook that I have on this game. And Iowa State is what, 4-1 and 4-0-1 ATS most recently. So you got a number of things working. I'm actually just looking forward to watching the game. And obviously, what I got some action on the total, but here at Gamblers World, by the way. So, but other than that, I just think it sets up to be a really fun opening game in a really interesting situation.
You heard that from Doug Upstone again. As Doug said, he's got his total winner up in this game at Gamblers World right now, $29.99. Go get it. Start your college football season off a winner with Doug. Chip, Doug here mentioned the odds for the Big 12. I did that the other day with Matt Fargo, and we're talking about it where, the top there, you got everybody. You got K-State, you got, Utah. Everybody's kind of bunched to the top in these kind of numbers. And you got a matchup like this where either one of these teams can lose here today. And still, if you liked one of them to win the Big 12, maybe you jump in at a better odds or probably double up with a loss under their belt where they got to kind of run their own table here. You heard Doug say, okay, the sharps are kind of moving towards the dog here. You look, and again, if this game was played in Manhattan, what would K-State be in this one? A 6-point favorite based on home field, 5.5, 6?
At least. I'd say 6.
That seems, that seems like a big number there. I want to sort of take the points. I haven't made a decision on this one, but your thoughts on this game here? Your thoughts?
Well, I, like Matt Campbell, have no idea. This is what he said. What do you expect from Kansas State? He said, I have no idea. Other than the fact that I think both teams have excellent quarterbacks. I really do hate this early game out there because, college we get a little bit more information from the pros, and I think we get a better sample size through the preseason, which we do not get in college. And usually the first month, I tread lightly until I see how the matchups are going and what the flows are doing and what the numbers and the lines. Now, Doug, you said that the Sharps were playing Iowa State. Every time the number hit 3.5 here, they banged it down. It wasn't up 45 minutes before it was down to 3 again. So they are taking that half point and 3.5 with Iowa State. They set a school record 11 wins last year. Are they going to anticipate? Do you anticipate them regressing, being better? Their quarterback. Both quarterbacks put the ball in the end zone. 35 TDs passing, 7 rushing on the Kansas State side, and Iowa State at 35 and 20 and 7. So these quarterbacks, they put it there. Transfer portal. Both schools came in with wide receivers, and I guess that's to complement their quarterbacks. I think the game goes over the total. I know they always say early in the year, most likely defenses are going to be ahead of offenses, but I think the way the game is geared now, and you guys have to admit that the whole numbers, totals numbers have changed dramatically. They've risen so much because of the new rules, and you can't touch the quarterback unless he's not wearing his skirt anymore. But I don't know what to do with that. I play it over.
All right. Chip likes the over in this one here. Again, I like to keep records, everybody, of our season, how we're doing. This game here, I'm not going to keep a record. Not really. I'm not keeping a record on because it wasn't like an assigned game because we were talking about, a bunch of games here today, and we're not giving out, sides and totals on 5 games, and it was going to be 15 picks. We're not doing it that way. So on today's episode, no record will be kept. I'm sorry. Go at me in the comments. Only when we do our standalones like baseball and stuff like that, football, the records will be kept. Not on a day like this where it's a hodgepodge of an opening week 0 Saturday of action. But we got a dog play for you. We like the over in this one as well. Chip had mentioned the wide receivers. Iowa State loses 2 receivers to the NFL who had, over 2,000 yards and what are we saying here? Almost 20 touchdowns, 17 touchdowns. Tough to replace that, portal or not, because Iowa State, we know, sometimes plays some ugly football. So, you lose that kind of rhythm with a quarterback. I don't know if he's going to duplicate those kind of numbers. We'll see. I'm over Nate. I like Avery Johnson over there. I'm just torn. Again, I haven't played this one. I got 12 other college football games lined up for the next for week 0, week 1, but this one not really on my not on my radar here. We're gonna jump though to let's go to the late game. Although it is 7:30, not too late. It's not a usual typical Hawai'i late game. This is in Chips next to the woods. We know Vegas loves their Hawai'i games out there because it's a good wrap up for the day there. This line, a 2.5-point dog, Hawai'i, now a 2.5-point favorite. The totals come down from 55. It was, last week this was a 53. It's down to a 50.5 now. My thought process on this one is it has to be based on Stanford kind of play, right? I mean, Andrew Luck's like the GM. They think he's like Bill Belichick of here. I guess they're North Carolina of the islands. They bring in a GM to run a program. He cans the coach in spring ball, brings in Frank Reich, his old Colts teammate. Listen, you're not finding a coach in March, April, May to build your team on, right? I mean, that's obviously let's put a professional in there, kind of have a nice little culture, change whatever was going on with the old coach. I think you got to love Hawai'i in this spot here. I mean, they got a team that's kind of thinking of going to a bowl game. Mm-hmm. A lot of hype on them here. Teams usually perform worse on the island than the mainland. They come here, they usually lose. Revenge spot for Hawai'i here, Chip. Are you a Hawai'i fan in this spot?
Are these not two of the worst teams playing each other? I mean, Stanford I got a minus rating, and Hawai'i they're not even part of the mainland, so people don't even count them anymore. I don't know where to go with this game, honestly, because of the lack of talent that's around. I just think the way that Stanford is being so maligned, I would want them. That's all I really. Right. I know there's turmoil in Hawai'i as well. There's so much bad stuff about Stanford that I have to think that maybe they'll be good.
Listen.
I mean, for this game. I don't mean for the season.
No. But like you said, right, Doug. When a team is just everybody's piling on them, that's where usually a team rises up. Yeah. What do you think? You agree with the?
Well, hey, you can't go wrong with Reich. Right? I mean, that makes all the sense in the world there. So that worst
huge comeback, didn't he? Didn't he have a huge comeback versus the Oilers? He had a huge comeback with the Oilers.
Right. Yes, with the Houston Oilers, correct. Or not Houston, the
he's on Bills, but yes.
Yeah. Stanford, worst team in the ACC, and we're still trying to figure out where in the ACC. By the way, thinking of the Pac-12, you got your game of the year up on that one yet, Sean? Oregon State.
By the way, Doug, we have an ACC team, the Atlantic Coast team, is playing a game closer to Japan than they are to their home floor. So I don't get this. Educators, that's all I can tell you. Educators.
It's money. So yeah. So Sean mentioned, local legend Tommy Chang, the coach. Okay, yep. Great player at Hawai'i. 5-7 last year. Could have done better. Could have won at least one other game. Micah, I'm not sure about the last name. I'm going to go with Alejado. Okay, if I'm wrong, if I butchered it, I apologize. But he's the starting quarterback. And last year he played 4 games, and then he pulled himself out because he would have to have given up his freshman year. So smart move by him. Now he's a quote unquote redshirt freshman for this team. Again, the sharp action is definitely on Hawai'i here, but you know what? I'm with Chip on this one here, is that Stanford is being talked down so low. I think Frank Reich can get a bunch of college kids fired up for a game like this. And the fact Stanford is still a physically larger team than what Hawai'i is going to be. And I think with Reich's history, that doesn't have a quarterback that throws the ball great, but he's a really good runner. And so with that in mind, I think this is going to be a 1-point game where Stanford comes out on top.
You mentioned the Pac-2, and we have a Oregon State quarterback under center for Stanford here. Yep. And you mentioned Reich, yeah. And the Stanford staff, probably a bunch of NFL guys, right? You'll definitely be motivated players here for Stanford. And you have the old disrespect card. Like, they're going to go in there and be like, listen, you guys, everybody's pooping on you. And they can say whatever they want. They know sports betting is talked about. They can go in there and be like, you were favorites, and now you're dogs. They think you guys are a bunch of crap. That's what they think of you guys. Go prove them otherwise. It's definitely a spot where you want to be on the dog here. Absolutely. Next game, this is an interesting one here. We have, again, folks, we're going to cover these quick kind of little hitters. We're going to get out of here shortly. Western Kentucky is facing Sam Houston, Chip's favorite team. He's a big Sam Houston guy, big Bearcat guy. He starts falling asleep. And he's like, what are we talking about? Bearcats.
Hey,
What's a Bearcat?
Houston sent 2 receivers and a quarterback to Appalachian State. Actually, they went to Western Kentucky. Sorry.
Sam Houston, a 10-point dog. This was 7 up to 10. Both teams lose a lot of guys. I think one team has 3 guys back total. The other team has 4. But Western Kentucky, at least, they're going to bring in a quarterback and a new OC. They play it together. They're an Abilene Christian throwing for 4,000 yards and like 30 touchdowns. Is it enough to cover a 10-point spread, Chip?
I don't know. Like I said, I'd like to see a little sample size of what they're doing, these 2 teams. This Sam Houston did have an explosive offense. If I can recollect, I'm not quite so sure about this stuff anymore because the seasons blend in, and as we age, we forget a lot of things. But I'm really not keen on this game at all because it's not one of the premier games. And like I said, these early college games, our information is so scarce. I mean, if this was the 4th week of the season, we'd have something to build off of. But right now, I can't get involved with this game at all.
10-win team last year, Doug, Sam Houston. The coach, DC, a bunch of people say, we're out of here. We're going to North Texas. We're taking our wagon with us, and we're going to deplete you a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, you mentioned, both teams, very few starters back. And so to me, I'm looking at this at Sam Houston State. So new coach, okay, and they want to play up-tempo, which is throwing the ball. Phil Longo is the coach, and you might remember him most recently. He was the one that helped start getting Wisconsin on the downward turn, okay, as the offensive coordinator. So he's got the coach is Hunter Watson, and he's a dual threat quarterback. Well, you want to go up-tempo, throwing the ball with a dual threat quarterback? Doesn't sound good to me, okay? You got Maverick I wish his name was MacGyver, but it's Maverick McIver, okay, instead. So, but this guy can throw the ball. Western Kentucky, long known for having quarterbacks who can throw the ball, and they've brought in transfers over the year. Tyson Helton, their coach, likes to do the same thing. I think Sam Houston State will be better later, but in this game, I don't have any problem giving the 10 with Western Kentucky. Yeah. I think it's a better situation.
You mentioned Longo from Whiskey. We can't really put it all on Whiskey on him because the new, what's his name took over there.
Well, he hired him, so that's his fault. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
So, but he hired him, said, let's change it. We want to change our whole culture to throw the ball. Well, that's great, but the 100 guys you got on your team or your 57 offensive players are run first kind of guys. Right. You're gonna have problems.
Yep.
You're gonna have problems. Final game, folks. Here, we're back to the Big 12. We got Kansas against a little Fresno. Bigger number here, 12.5, 50.5. Again, Jaden Daniels, quarterback of Kansas here, Chip, pretty decent player. They'll be pumped up here, right? New stadium. They were on the road all last year. Now they got their own home digs. I saw a drone flyby over their stadium. Their locker room's got the pictures of the guys on like some LED in front of their lockers. Looks pretty cool. Will translate into wins. Who knows? Are they going to be excited that they're not living out of a duffel bag playing all over the place? Absolutely. E.J. Warner via Temple and Rice, the new quarterback here. Again, I don't know. I think Fresno's got some problems. I have nothing on this game. I want to lean Kansas here, Chip. You made your point pretty clear. Like early action, it is tough, and that's why we do a little show like this: is get it out there. Like you don't have to bet week 0 just because it's football's back. Let's bet it. You know what? Because when your team's going belly up or you're getting backdoor to not cover, you're gonna be like, this is so rigged. You don't got to bet the 4 games on a random Saturday in August, no less. Tell them, Chip.
Well, isn't this Daniels? Did he have injury problems last year with Kansas? He was the whole key to their team. I think their season blew up after he got hurt, and hopefully he's going to return and be totally healthy. But also, hasn't this Fresno school gone on a downturn? Did they lose? Who was it? They had they had a great coach there for a while.
Jeff Tedford.
Yeah.
And now who's there?
Actually, a really good hire. His name is Matt Entz, and he's from North Dakota State, who's been FCS power for several years, a lot of it under his realm, and he's just a really good coach. So it was actually an excellent hire by them. And
now, is this his first year?
First year, yes.
Now they're coming off. I know they, numbers wise. Sometimes when you get the opening numbers from the one year to the next, and you look at it and you go, "Whoa, how could Fresno be a 12-point dog?" But I think they opened like 18, 19-point dog to Michigan last year.
Yes,
and they got beat and didn't cover. So I would have a tendency to think that the favorite might be good here, and that Fresno still has some rebuilding to do. And maybe with the new coach, Doug, their organization and the way they approach the games will be improved and be better. But this quarterback from Kansas he may be the real deal here.
He's definitely a different maker. So I agree with you there. And I was reading somewhere on this guy, and Doug, for North Dakota State. He had lost 4 games. Like, they kind of got worse under him. He left, and then they won the championship after he left.
Right.
So we'll see. Again, some of these guys like Leopold down in Kansas, these guys do good. Takes a while to get a team on track. I don't think Fresno, much like I forget Leopold's where he's at Kleiman too. Kleiman was another guy, but I think both of their coaches came out of the small, right? For Kansas,
yes.
Yeah. So. You go to a team like Fresno, it's going to take a little bit to get some talent in there and get your kind of guys going. So I agree with Chip here on the Kansas laying the 12.5, 13 here. Your thoughts?
Leopold is. He's a good coach. Okay, first of all, the part that suffers here is the recruiting part. Is that they're not. Even in basketball, the university's not even set up to pay for basketball. So that's just part of the deal. So that hurts them. And you know what? I am no Jalen Daniels fan. This guy is in his 6th year. He's been frequently hurt. But the thing that you watch when you see him play, he's either outstanding or he's turning the ball over. It's one or the other. And so what you catch him on that particular day. So I don't think he's gotten any. I've seen him play plenty. I don't think he's gotten any better in the last 5 years, to tell you the truth. My opinion, okay, on this one. However, Fresno State, they got some talent, okay, in some different areas, but I don't think it's enough to be cohesive. And to me, it's very similar to the Sam Houston State and Western Kentucky game. You got a team that's in place, and you got a team that's starting over. Okay, so I'm just not confident there. I think that once again, too much speed, too much power, and I think Kansas pulls away. Probably decent first half, pulls away in the second half just because of their size and speed.
I agree. So we could all, wholeheartedly, folks, you're tuning into the show today. You want to pick, we all agree on kind of like Kansas would be the one for us here. Again, this is a hodgepodge kind of show. We're leading with the Ireland game. Lean to the underdog there with Doug, with Iowa State. Chipper says over the total there for Mr. Chip Chirimbes in that Ireland game. This game here, though, we pretty much kind of agree here. Let's take the favorite. You want to take maybe Stanford as a little dog action in the other game? Chip and Doug enjoy those. Again, this is a little free pick. Kind of get our feet wet back into the flow of football as it arrives. Doug does have a top play up on gamblersworld.net in college football. Chip, not so much. It's all right. You don't have to. Even I don't even have I have a game posted. I didn't even post a play on it because I think I told you Western Kentucky 7.5. That's what I got it at. Way back on, I think June 16th, right around, somewhere mid-June and beginning of July. I'm not going to post that on the site because that's not right to do. I still think Western Kentucky rolls. There's a premium play for you, absolutely free. These are free picks. Gamblersworld.net for our best bets. Major League Baseball here as we do this on a Thursday. College football's up for the weekend. NFL preseason underway. Head on over to gamblersworld.net for our best bets premium action. There you go. First college football show of the year. More to come. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good luck. Bye-bye.